No.
But you must be very looking forward to a right-hand drive Mustang, Richard Hammond.
Yeah, you'd think. No, not really. Because I don't want a right-hand drive Mustang. Once it becomes right-hand drive, it's like it's trying too hard to be British and sophisticated and something it's not.
I know what you mean. It's like when Americans come over here and start using words like bloody.
Yes,
isn't it?
It's exactly that.
It is, and they say, I'm going to the bloody pub.
It doesn't sound right. That's the good
Exactly, it is.
Or they say mate. They try and say mate, but it just doesn't work.
Yes, because they think that we're Crocodile Dundee, because it's all the same, because I haven't got atlases.
Yeah.
So that realistically should be called, now it's coming here, the Ford Bloody Quid Mate.
Yeah.
That's its name. Ferrari is made by craftsmen in Maranello. This is made by two fat blokes in Kentucky.
Called Bud and Bob.
This plastic comes from the same plastic they used to make newsreaders over here.
That's the same colour as well.
And if I can liken the whole global car industry to the human body, Toyota is the brain, Aston Martin is the face, Cadillac is the stomach. And Alfa Romeo, as we discovered last week, that's the heart and soul.
I am a bit worried about this bit, though. But with being in an American car and everything, it's a corner.
If you gave a European engineer 8,300cc to play with, he'd come up with a damn sight more than 500 brake horsepower. We can get that much these days from a pencil sharpener. And also, European cars are rather less ostentatious and vulgar. We grew out of chrome wheels in 1972, except in Cheshire, perhaps.
It's the all-American Roadster. Apart from the bits that are German, which is quite a lot of the underneath stuff, in fact, because this Chrysler is based on the old Mercedes SLK. And that's not a very good recipe, to be honest, because the old SLK was a bit naff, and the Americans can't build cars. They especially can't do interiors for some reason. I mean, this centre console's been finished off with a tin of that silver aerosol paint you get from Halfords, and that glove box lid, that looks like it came off a larder in the 1970s or something. They really have dropped a bit of an Eastern Bloc with that one.
My right leg is on the American continent. My left leg is on the European continent. So, my right side wants a burger and my left side wants an espresso. The Americans have announced their green car of the year.
Oh, good. It'll be a Toyota Prius. So
It isn't.
Electric thing?
It's a Prius Toyota.
No.
It's going to be a Prius, so...
It isn't. I've got a photograph of it here. There you go.
That's not a Prius.
No, that's
Whoa.
a 6-litre V8 Chevy Tahoe.
That's the green car
I'm
of the year.
absolutely not joking. No, it's a hybrid. They put a tiny, weeny little electric motor in it somewhere. There you are, that's a hybrid. And they've fallen for it. Does 21 miles to the gallon.
That's green.
It is very green. Actually, the funniest thing is the judges for this, OK? Do you want to know who the judges are? The American Green Car of the Year. One of them was Jay Leno.
Oh, he hates cars.
Yes, apart from his large collection of Ferraris and Porsches, he hates them.
Yeah.
Carroll Shelby.
Oh, he really hates cars. Yeah.
No, Carroll Shelby was the man who put the 7-litre V8 in the AC-Ace to create the Cobra and spends his time now...
Supercharging Mustang.
He does, yes. He puts superchargers on Mustangs. And the other judge was, he's called Jean-Michel Cousteau, and he's actually Jacques Cousteau's son. I'd love to have been in the... when they were discussing it. Shut up, you goddamn Frenchy, cheese-eating surrender monkey.
Poor bloke, when he walked in that room. It's
Yeah.
going to be very exciting. I'm a judge, and they were there drinking petrol
I
and
know.
supercharging their chair.
Because Shelby would be going, I know what a hybrid is. It's like country and western. How big's your engine?
5.7 litres.
7-litre V8 motor.
160 horsepower in the Buick.
It's 200 horsepower, OK? How do they get so few horsepower from a V8 motor?
I don't know.
The ultimate off-road toys are the buggies. This idea began with the Honda Pilot. Brilliant, but it didn't have a differential, and that meant cornering was tricky. This scared a lot of Americans, and Honda, being a big company frightened of lawsuits, dropped it, which opened the floodgates for everyone else.
It's a stupid, childish fun. I tell you what, though, no, one interesting thing. When this thing goes on sale next year in Britain, it will make the job of the police much easier. Let's pull these over and go, open the boot. Whose head's this? Sadly, after the events of September the 11th, it's no longer possible to just go and visit the flight deck and see how a plane works. But then, of course, when you leave America and go back into the free world, anything's possible. There's Tahiti.
You see, Lotus already had disc brake technology by then, but they wouldn't put it on a car that was ordered by an American because they thought the Yanks would nick the technology.
Hammond,
Yes?
do you own a gun?
Why?
Have you found the little cubby hole behind the sat-nav screen in there?
Here it is. Yes, I found it.
That's where you put your pistol and your Bible. Support the troops. God bless America. This has to be the worst example of American-German cooperation since a chap called Adolphus Busch arrived in the States, tasted the water and thought, I could make beer out of this. And we ended up with that headache in a can called Budweiser. When the Germans and the Americans work together, even the sky isn't the limit. See that? The moon? It was German scientists using American money that took us there. And oh dear. The Americans lecture the world on democracy and then won't let me turn the traction control off. It's supposed to be a big, bad, dangerous muscle car. Although sure, you might hurt yourself.
It's interesting actually because American fire engines have really stupid engines. I've got a picture of an American fire engine here. Guess what that's called?
Fire engine.
No, it's called the igniter. It is. I mean, how does...
I've already got a fire!
Exactly. It should be called the extinguisher. It's like they've probably got an ambulance called the hemorrhage.
Yes.
Right, they're unbelievably easily amused, and that's why they're able to make NASCAR exciting. It's just some good old boys going round in a circle, and they go, oh, hell, I'll go pay to watch that. 250,000 people turn up to watch it.
Because it is a good sport. It's a great thing to watch.
Hammond, you would say that because you're an American.
Not an American! I'm not!
Hammond, you've got a Stetson, you've got cowboy boots, you've got chaps, you've got a Harley Davidson, you've got a Mustang, you'd like to get a beer, and you put cheese on everything.
I don't! I'm not American!
You have made a living out of being an American. Your Saturday night programme is a fat man falling off some foam rubber. All right, hey, we'll watch that. And they turn up in their millions.
And he has a hat I'm not an American!
Look, Hammond, I wish the Americans ran a decent sport. If they got Formula One, it would be fantastic because they would say, look, let's have sprinklers coming on at random points during the race, and that would be fantastic. And there'd be no more stewards' inquiries, and there'd be no more of this, oh, you got a 10-second drive-by penalty, because that just ruins the race. They say, OK, Hamilton and Massa, you don't get on after the race in your boxes on the winner's podium, slug it out.
Yeah.